So I need to know what you would have done in my situation. I just made a mistake that cost me 105,000 credit card points. I booked a flight for 6 people from Taipei to Da Nang on EVA Air, and I used Air Canada Aeroplan points. Economy class, pretty simple booking, pretty straightforward. It was 77,500 points for 6 adults and a lap child, and $266 in taxes and fees. The problem is the day before my flight, I checked the checked bag fees, and the first checked bag was free. The second checked bag was an outrageous amount of money. My name is Max, and I help people maximize their air miles, hotel points, and credit card points. Today, I'm gonna go over one of my biggest points redemption mistakes and what I learned so that you don't make the same error. Remember to hit the like and subscribe button down below, and let's get started. So for full context, I was traveling with 6 people, me, Tiffany, my parents, and my in-laws, plus our 5-month-old son as a lap infant. We're going from Taipei to Da Nang, Vietnam. So it's about a 2.5 hour flight, nothing too crazy. And I booked everyone in economy, more economical. And when you're traveling with 6 people, the points add up quickly. It was a total of 77,500 Air Canada Aeroplan points. The lap infant fee was 2,500 points. 6 adults was 75,000 points. So divide that by 6, 12,500 points per person. The taxes and fees for all the tickets was 372 Canadian dollars, which is 266 US dollars. So the cash price for that flight was pretty ridiculous. It was like $400 per person nonstop on EVA Air. I could have flown like a budget carrier or Vietnam Airlines, but then that would require us to connect to a different city and then go up to Da Nang, which we were not interested in doing because 5-month-old son, 6 people, bunch of bags, strollers, and we didn't want to do a connection, so we wanted nonstop. China Airlines was a similar price. Starlux was also a similar price as well. So that's why we settled on EVA Air, because it was bookable through Air Canada Aeroplan with our points. So cash was $400 times 6. That would have been $2,400 total for all 6 people, and then lap infant as well. And instead of paying that, we paid 77,500 points and $266 in taxes and fees, which is a no-brainer and is exactly why we use points. I booked it, felt good, and just kind of moved on and ready for our vacation. Well, fast forward to the day before the flight. My mother-in-law asked about checked bag fees, thinking it's EVA Air, a major Asian carrier, full service airline. Asian airlines won't do us dirty like in the US, would they? Well, I was wrong. What I found out was that the first checked bag was free, great, pretty standard. Second checked bag was $140. To put that in perspective, even in the US, if I checked 2 bags and they charged me for the first bag and the second bag, it wouldn't even come out to $140. So seeing that second checked bag fee for $140 was pretty insane. And the problem is that we're traveling multiple weeks with 6 people. Our 5-month-old baby has a bunch of bags as well. We have a ton of bags. Even strollers and cribs and just car seats and stuff get checked for free. Between 6 of us, there was about a total of like 13 to 14 checked bags total. I know what you're thinking. It's a lot of checked bags, but we have a lot of bags because my parents are going to Vietnam. Our in-laws are going to Vietnam. Typically for Vietnamese families, bringing stuff back from the US to Vietnam is very typical. Gifts for relatives, things they can't get in Vietnam. So yes, we have a lot of checked bags. So out of the 13 or 14 checked bags, about 6 were second bags for each person. So 6 bags times $140, that's $840 in checked bag fees, which is a lot of money. $840, dropping into the black hole, getting nothing in return. When I realized this, my heart kind of sank. It was 30 hours before our flight, and I just kind of panicked. Thinking of spending $840 and getting nothing out of it was kind of painful to me. My parents didn't raise a quitter though, not letting the system beat me. I think I'm gonna beat the system, figuring out a way to maximize this. So I started problem solving. First, considered switching airlines. Looked at Starlux, looked at China Airlines. They all fly that Taipei to Da Nang route, but all those options were not really viable. No availability for 6 people, or worse, the redemption rates were pretty bad, or the timing didn't work, so that was not an option. Then I thought, what if I upgraded everybody to business class? Business class, you get 2 free checked bags as standard. So I went to the Air Canada website and searched for the availability, and you know what? There was availability for all 6 of us to get upgraded to business class. The cost though, an additional 17,500 Air Canada Aeroplan points per person. So times 6, that's 105,000 Air Canada Aeroplan points. So let me be clear. I know, not a good redemption. I run this channel. I maximize my points day in and day out. I teach people how to maximize their points day in and day out. I probably would never recommend this to anybody under normal circumstances, but here's where I was mentally. I had 2 options. pay $840 in cash for checked bag fees, bite the bullet and get absolutely nothing in return, lose money into a black hole and never see that money again. Option 2 was transfer 105,000 credit card points over to Air Canada Aeroplan, upgrade everybody to business class, and cents per point calculation was not great. Well, it's actually not even good at all, but I was just thinking that if I pay $840, I get nothing. I get zero. You still fly in economy, still the same experience, and nothing really that fun. Option 2, yes, it's 105,000 points, but at least I'm getting something. Business class for 6 people, lie flat seats, priority check-in, lounge access, priority boarding, all the great things about business class, and a better overall experience. And the thing is, I had a surplus of points available that I was willing to redeem. And if I didn't have the surplus, I probably wouldn't have done this, but I did have the points. So I decided to transfer the points. I know you can judge me as much as you want. Tell me it's a bad redemption down in the comments. Believe me, I know it's not optimal, but for me in that moment, I'd rather spend that extra points and get something versus losing $840 in cash and get nothing. I didn't want to hear it from my parents or the in-laws for the next 2 weeks about how I wasted $840. Trust me, they'll never let me hear the end of it. So I upgraded everyone to business class and the problem was solved. Everyone enjoyed lie flat seats, the lounge access, priority boarding, and at least we got something instead of nothing. Here's the important lessons that I learned that you can apply when you're booking some of these redemptions is check bag fees before booking, not the day before, not the week before. Do it before you book your ticket. Seems obvious, right? But I traveled to Asia with my family all the time. Never really worried about crazy check bag fees. I probably would never blindly trust these Asian full service carriers. Again, things have changed. I'm sure they're trying to make as much money as they can. And so that's why they're charging so much for checked bags. Lesson 2 is that partner airline bag information is not always correct. Well, in this case, it's just also my fault as well. Air Canada was correct on the checked bag fees of the first bag being a free checked bag, but there's no mention of $140 for the second checked bag. And you kind of have to find that information on your own. And if you ever booked through a partner airlines, for example, if you book a Delta flight through Virgin Atlantic will say that you get 2 free checked bags when in actual you check in at the Delta flight and they will charge you for those 2 free checked bags. So don't rely on partner airline information to get the right checked bag information. Lesson number 3 is that mistakes really multiply when you're traveling as a group. While we rarely travel as a group, usually it's me and Tiffany, and now it's our little baby. It was just me and Tiffany, $140. I would just like pay that and moved on. It's a small mistake, but with 6 people total, that gets multiplied by 6 and suddenly it's a much bigger problem. That's a more expensive problem. And the stakes are higher when you're traveling as a group. And lesson number 4, value points however you want. So that's the thing. I value my points however I want. You value your points however you want. Redeem your points for whatever you want, and I can redeem my points for whatever I want. Different situations calls for different valuations on your points. So for me, in that moment, 105,000 points to upgrade to business class to avoid that $840 in cash was worth it. Was it an optimal redemption? Hell no, it was absolutely not an optimal redemption, but the right decision for me in that situation with the options available. So looking back, I'm glad I have this experience that I have of traveling so much that my family trusts me with my travel instincts, the ability to figure things out. And when asked about the check bag situation, I said, don't worry about it. It's all taken care of, upgraded everyone to business class, and they said, okay, great, and moved on. The thing is, the more you travel, the more experience you get, and the more you understand how to problem solve. It's like a puzzle. People don't travel enough and they run into situations like this and they panic, they freeze, they give up, and blame airlines and complain. I enjoy these challenges and I learned from my situation. Could I have done things differently? Absolutely. I could have checked the checked bag fees earlier, told everyone to pack lighter and pack less. But in the moment, with the options I had, I made a decision and it felt right for me. And honestly, I don't regret it. It's kind of sad to see 105,000 points go down the drain, but at least I have content for it. And I also have video content of what it's like to fly business class on EVA Air. So that's my story. I wasted 105,000 credit card points, or maybe I didn't waste them. You can let me know what you think down in the comments, whether I wasted or not. Would have you paid $840 in cash for those checked bags? Or would have you transferred 105,000 points? Or would have you done something completely different? Let me know down in the comments. Remember to hit the like and subscribe button down below. And hopefully you learn from this mistake or you take a couple things away from this video. I'll put some more videos on the screen that you can watch as well. That'll help you maximize your points a little bit more. And thanks for watching this far, and I'll see you guys in the next one.